Did you think your 40s would be easier? I did. But then perimenopause came to pay me a visit and things got harder. I wish I'd known earlier how to do it smarter. So to help you make perimenopause easier for you, here are 5 things I learned that will help you feel like yourself again. 5 yoga secrets every woman should know. Secret number 1. What do you think you're doing? These words were hurled at me through my car window. Sorry, I was just dropping my daughter off quickly to catch her friends. The woman responded, it's a car park. You're meant to park your car. You could obviously see my reverse lights. I hadn't seen her reverse lights. I was focused on getting my daughter out of the car. I apologised again, moved out of her way, parked the car and cried. Overreacting is a sign something is up. Have you overreacted lately? Shouted at someone in a car park? Or cried after someone has shouted at you in a car park? These moments matter. They are invitations to look inward, to notice what's really going on. So, secret number 1 is kindness comes first. Perimenopause is a tricky time and it affects how we show up in the world. Yoga has a simple tool to help us and it's called ahimsa, Sanskrit for non-violence, which really means kindness. Yoga encourages us to practice kindness, not just to others, but to ourselves. It starts with you. Heading to your yoga mat and checking in with yourself is the biggest favour you can do for yourself and the people around you. When you feel you're tuning in and listening to yourself, life gets easier. Your needs no longer feel ignored or denied, making you a nicer person. Kindness comes first. Secret number 2. This happened to me a few years ago. It had been one of those days and all of a sudden it was 8:30 p.m. and I had a kitchen full of dirty dishes and a daughter who was meant to be asleep, standing at the top of the stairs shouting, "Mom!" I took a deep breath and headed for the hall. "Nell, I have 101 things to do tonight. What is it?" There was a pause and Nell smiled. "Mum, you don't have 101 things to do tonight." She said this with such honesty and innocence. I burst out laughing because once again, Nell, who was 8 at the time, had shaken me out of my self-pity and back into the present moment. She was right. I was exaggerating and swimming in righteousness. We had a good giggle about it and I took the time to sing her a song and help her get to sleep. What is more important than that? So, secret number 2 is tell yourself the truth. This is one of the reasons I practice yoga, to grow this particular strength in me. The strength to see things as they truly are, no better and no worse. When we're feeling tired or overwhelmed, we have a tendency to go to the dark side and we can get caught up in exaggeration and drama. Yoga suggests we practice satya, truthfulness. Now, I still have a lot of practicing to do, but I truly believe if I had not been doing yoga for all these years, that scene on the stairs could have gone a completely different way. But the second Nell gave me the opportunity to witness life in a different light, my awareness kicked in and I grabbed the opportunity to see things as they truly were, no better and no worse. Tell yourself the truth. Secret number 3. I have always had a phone call with any women who want to come to my in-person yoga classes. This is to make sure they'll get what they want from the practice. And I've noticed the number 1 thing that women are most concerned about is, what if I'm not as good as everyone else? We immediately slip into comparing ourselves to others. What will the other women in the class think of me? Then, after their first class, they understand that this is not what yoga is about, and the feeling of comparison usually melts away. So, secret number 3 is comparison steals joy. The beauty of yoga is the mat is your own little island. It gives you a safe space. There is no performance to put on, no points to be earned, and no one decides who won the match. Comparison is the thief of joy. We steal from ourselves and our experience if we continually compare ourselves to others and put ourselves into situations that lead to comparison. Our yoga practice gives us a break from the craziness of competition. In yoga, it's called asteya, non-stealing, a moral discipline that yoga suggests we practice for happier, healthier, more contented lives. And guess what? It works. Secret number 4. A few weeks ago, I needed a break. Unfortunately, my diary had other plans. The routine, the schedule had to continue. So I decided to do something else. I switched everything else off. Literally. No podcasts, no Audible, no Apple TV, no reading before bed. My brain felt full and it needed some space. It needed some quietness, some stillness. So rather than filling my time with Audible when driving back from the school drop-off, or listening to a podcast while washing the dishes, or delving into the world of chakras by reading before bed, I just stopped it all. And it honestly helped. It gave my mind time to wander, time to think, time to daydream. We can get into the habit of overstimulating our senses, not being aware that it's adding to the overload on our minds and our bodies. So secret number 4 is silence is a superpower. Yoga is the biggest fan of silence. It promotes how good it is to just be still and quiet. It gives you permission to sit down, to stare into space with a cup of tea. We don't need to add anything else to that moment. No scrolling, no listening, no multitasking. Drinking the tea is enough. So the next time you're feeling overwhelmed or just really tired, I highly recommend checking out your surroundings. What have you unnecessarily added to that moment that you could drop? Give your mind some space and much needed quietness. In this noisy world of ours, it's needed. It doesn't have to be forever, just until you feel you are back on an even keel. Secret number 5. If you'd asked me a question last week, you'd have got the honest answer, not the polite answer, not the softened answer, just the truth, straight up. It's the same every month. The world loses its soft focus filter and the veil of estrogen lifts, and suddenly everything feels very clear. Yes or no, this or that. No frills, no fluff. My poor husband gets the brunt of it. He's used to a gently wrapped response, but at this time of the month, no wrapping paper, just the answer. My yoga mat is what helps me cope with this monthly change. When everything feels sharper, the mat gives me space to breathe through it rather than fight it. Moving my body, steadying my breath, softening my edges. It helps me make sense of what's happening inside me. What I've come to realise is this monthly change isn't me being difficult or irrational or any of the other labels women have been handed for centuries. It's simply a hormonal truth. When estrogen dips, our sense of clarity rises. The world appears more black and white, and our tolerance for nonsense quietly leaves the room. So, secret number 5 is you're cyclical. Live like it. Over time, my practice has shown me that this phase isn't something to apologise for. It's a natural rhythm with its own wisdom. And the yoga mat is where I learn how to navigate it with just a little bit more grace. Yoga has helped me tune into the cycles of nature, the moon, and of me. It highlights the need for balance. We will not feel up for it every day. Nothing does. We need moments of rest, just like nature needs winter and the moon needs to wane. And deciding we will rest when we're on holiday or when we die is absolutely ludicrous because it needs to be built into our monthly cycle. In order to feel more like yourself, you must respect yourself as a cyclical being and live as one. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean the world to me if you could hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. Thank you for being here. Sending love and kindness.